Artist of Essentia, we usually conduct a series of interviews with of the industry. And during these conversations, we try to have amazing spectrum of conversations about, well, their experiences and everything. So today we have Mukesh Kumar. He's a veteran Air Force, and he's a genius. And now he's a founder and CEO magazine. Hello, sir. The floor is all yours.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
Thank
sir.
you for the introduction. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll run a couple of slides to give you a brief introduction about Cheese Magazine, what we are all about, and a little about my experience, and then we'll have a open conversation with all the participants. Um, my name is Mukesh. I'm founder and CEO for Cheese Magazine. These are some of the corporates I worked in past. I had been working in the IT industry, as most of us we get into photography at the later stage. So I had been working with a lot of government clients and been had an opportunity to work with the government as well as private corporate sector. So I was into software industry more towards the project management. We founded Cheese Magazine with a very different view. Um, Typically, uh, like 4 years back, the magazine had been in a like other magazines, other competitors. Like there are not many magazines in India, but they are into entirely into catering to the different segment. We started the magazine printed. One of the part is we started printing. Those who have seen our magazine, it's printed in on a 130 GSM paper, which is a very thick, transparent paper. It's a monthly magazine printed. We have 100 pages, and we restrict all the advertisements to 30 pages only. We been circulating more towards the digital. We have 170,000 digital prints being circulated. Magazine goes to 25 plus countries. We have subscribers from different countries. We have 200 plus marketing partner, and we have 50,000 plus uh, print circulation. So currently the printing is not possible. So we are doing only digital. And right now our digital subscription has increased because a lot of people are reading the magazine these days, and because of lockdown situation. Um, we have like collaborators, we have paid circulations. We are available on like different places like airport, railway stations, and your nearest news stall. We have been collaborating with different photo studios, different corporates, different companies, and some of the premium hotels. We have also been collaborating with the campuses. We have a program where we were sponsoring their contest, and we had been like our magazine was available in their libraries. This is our readership profile. Most of our readers are 18 to 30 age group, uh, and a lot of young people, they've been reading us. Uh, these are the different platforms our magazine is available. Primarily, we are on Kindle, like the paper magazine is there on Amazon, we are on Flipkart, Snapdeal. Digitally, mostly it is sold on Magster, it's a platform, and a lot of users are from Kindle for the digital devices. Um, So we are, although we are known as a photography magazine, but we do more things like we do photography competition contests, we do photography workshops, we do photo tours. Right now, photo tours are not happening though. We have a campus, as I mentioned, where we engage students from different colleges and sponsor them some competitions, and then we do photography exhibitions. We had been exhibition was one of the part which we've been doing regularly. In fact, one of the exhibition we are doing it on this World Photography Day. This will be the first digital exhibition which we'll be doing. So this is these are the other activities which we have. Then these are the details of these workshops, the tours, and the different campuses we are involved. These are the detailed version of the information which I already gave you. Only the addition part here is the expos. So we had been part of almost all the expo which happens on photography. We put our stall there. We've been their partners. So again, the expos and are not happening these days, and so here it comes on our portal. This is a another. We have a cheese.com where we get a lot of our users. They come, they upload their photos, they um, participate in our contest. So this is the one part. Um, Second thing, as I mentioned about the contest, so we have number of contests live every time. I will, after this presentation, I'll open a website and will show some of the contests which are going on right now. One of the very important contests, which is about, there is a brand named THC, and they are giving away DSLR camera. Uh, this is we have been working with more than 150 campuses, and if you happen to be part of any college or any institute, feel free to contact us, and we would be able to collaborate with you. Um, these are the some of the events which we do. One of the very important event which we had been doing was Pushkar. Pushkar Fair, we had been doing it for last 4 years, and this is our biggest event. In this event, we bring a lot of artists like photographers, mentors, a lot of brands together, and we create a good experience for photographers. It's a 3 days, 2 night event, and amazing experience we create over there. That's it from like the others are some of the videos. These are our partners. We had been working with all the brands. Like we were helping them with their like marketing solution. They are our advertisers. They are the one who support us. So we have all the brands on board like Nikon, Canon, Zeiss, and Panasonic, Lumix. So all the brands are there. They are supporting us. That's it from the presentation side, and I guess we can start with questions. And
Yeah, yeah.
okay,
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the presentation.
thank you very much.
So speaking about Chiz Magazine, what made you decide to come into the field of photography and launch Chiz Magazine?
It's like I had been personally been working in corporate, and like I had been doing photography as a hobby, and eventually there was always wanted to get into photography. always wanted to, having kind of uh, like it was in passion, but was looking in need that we can get into photography, that there is a need of photography magazine. I myself got published in one of the very big magazine. They very reputed one, and they bought some of my photos for a story. The story was for Tosh, like this is in Himachal. I had visited, and when the work was published, they did not give a proper credit. Like I was so happy and excited, and eventually when I saw the published story, I had a very smaller place where my name was written. It was really kind of so disappointing. So that's another event which triggered me to start, to start the magazine.
Wow.
Okay,
So speaking about,
Priyashi is also here. Okay.
Acha,
oh,
Priyashi is here. Okay, let's connect
hi
her.
Priyashi. Priyashi, hi. Can you hear us? So guys, Priyashi is the editor of Cheese Magazine. So please do welcome her.
Hi.
Hi Priyashi. Hi Priyashi, how are you doing?
Hi. I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Anyway, so speaking about Chiz Magazine, Chiz Magazine's USP, like how does it stand out the crowd? What is different about Chiz Magazine, other magazines, other photography magazines?
Sure. So if the other magazines are also good. They've been working in a different way for many years. They've been there for 30 years, 40 years. Uh, the different and our USP is like one is on the content side. Our content, we primarily target a good content. The photographer, the artist may not be that well known. We only handful of time we have published any legendary artist the well-known artist, like well-known photographer. Most of the time we have published only some of them they are kids, some of them they have used a very basic camera, so very the content come from the content quality based we are doing it, not that the photographer being very popular. Second, it's a community based content. So we source content from the market. We get a lot of content through the contest. People submitted. So that's another difference. Third one is on the physical aspects. The way we have designed, we have 80% is the imagery part, and only 20% text. We don't put a lot of text because the content is pretty much available on internet to read. And of course, the printing, we are printing on almost double thickness of the paper, so that have a good quality of printing.
You're in this photography industry, and what do you think how industry is right now? How the photography industry is doing right now?
Yeah, I think Priyashi is there, so she's the one who is taking care a lot of part. So I guess.
What do you
Uh,
think?
yeah, I think, of course, times are tough, but like especially for photography, there's no travel happening. I mean, most of the photographers rely on traveling and going out to shoot, but that is clearly not happening because of the COVID situation.
Mhm.
But a few photographers are still persevering, but it's at a lot of risk. Like we have photojournalists going out every day, but that is at a great personal risk. So yeah, photography industry right now is, I would say, it's suffering, but also a lot of creative content is also coming out because uh, because of the lockdown. A lot of people are experimenting, so you know how that goes, if when you
Yeah.
have limited resources,
Yes.
so you make the most out of it. So if you're at home, like, people are coming up with different ways of doing self portraits, of documenting how the lockdown period is going.
Yes.
And that has resulted in a lot of good content and a lot of creativity that has been coming up in the industry, and a lot of good work is being produced as well. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it.
I think at this point we can just be busy and create as much as possible, so that it's the time to
Yeah,
explore ourselves, I guess.
yeah, definitely.
So speaking about photography now, Chiz Magazine conducts a lot of workshops. So how did you come up with the idea of workshops? Like, how was your experience conducting workshop, organizing it, the overall experience of workshop and the students and everything? So how was the experience?
Um,
That's a $1 million
Yes.
question.
right. So again, we did in a little different way. First of all, we contacted only very unique mentors. Garima ji?
Hmm.
So the
Yes,
video
yes.
which was running, so she was the mentor. She was the one of the mentors that day. Uh, Second, we did certain topics which were not happening, like fine art is one of them. Fashion, in giving it a complete like practical experience. So that's the another one. Second, it's a very simple to what cells we've been doing on those workshops, like, but not a very typical classroom kind of training. These were more practical, more providing a good experience and hands-on experience. At least end of the workshop, every participants end up making their portfolio. So we are not doing on all the genres. We did fashion, fine art, and food. So that's the I guess not many company or institutes been doing that.
So how are the responses of the students? Like, how do they respond to the
It
workshops?
had been good. Bangalore had been one of the like the most successful place for us compared to north part of India. So we've been doing pan India, like Bangalore being in the top three cities where
Mhm.
we were having a lot of demand, like Bangalore, Pune, Mumbai. Then we were doing in other cities too. So response had been good. We were sold out. We had most of the workshops were sold out when we did it. In Delhi, it's a different market, but rest of the India, it was working out to be good.
That's amazing. So, how do you think? So, this is a sentence. Okay, so the line between professional photography and hobby photography has been diminished. Like in the recent times, if you can see that line has been almost diminished to nothing. So, how relevant is that sentence? Actually?
I guess Priyashi, okay, so she's a good photographer too,
Really, would love to see her
Don't exaggerate.
work.
The best part of
So yeah,
good photographer, I think, is not being very modest about it.
no, but I'm not being. I'm just being honest. So yeah, I agree with Anand. The line between professional and hobbyist photography is being diminished, especially I think more so because of Instagram and such apps. Lots of people have started taking photographs and have started using professional equipment. and the result is surprisingly very, very good. But there's also a lot of I would say a lack of creativity, because everybody, even if you see on Instagram, a lot of people are copying each other. If you have a certain frame, you see that frame in at least 100 photographs before the trend eventually it diminishes. So yeah, like there's a lot of you do it and then I'll do it, and it's more because of Instagram. So yeah, and hobbyist photographers, what they're doing is they're selling their photographs online, and they're being approached for work because of Instagram and because of their social media this thing. So I would say yes, the line between professional photography and hobby photography is.
That's really good answer, honestly. Before, like maybe a few years ago, Instagram, of course, things were very different. Things, photography was treated in a different way. Now, because of this Instagram trends and everything, now photography industry has changed into a different level altogether. So, Instagram has come. How do you think that has changed our industry? Does it change it for better or for worse?
I
I'd
guess,
say both.
yeah,
If,
go ahead, go ahead.
so please go ahead.
So I think that's just a tool. Like I come from a Orkut time, uh, like so the Orkut was the thing old days, and it came the Facebook. Now it's Instagram, and there would be another tool which will be, the Instagram will be phased out, and there would be new tool what people will be using. In between, there was a Snapchat. All these tools have impacted photography, and they have impacted both ways. Like the good thing is, like a lot of people have adapted. A lot of images have been taken by different people, like users, and you can call them photographer too. So the trend, the number of users have increased. The number of data, which is, the million, like billions of photos are being uploaded on a daily basis on different platforms, which has increased the demand of gears, which has increased the market, which has impacted a lot of things. So yes, just consider, like if such platforms are not there, probably a lot of people would not be taking pictures or selfies for that matter. So for photographer, but I have seen like mostly very serious photographer. They're not very active on these channels, or rather than they are not there for on any platform at all. It's a debatable. We have a different thought that yes, they should be there or not to be there, but it's a kind of a mixed impact what we have because of the Instagram.
That's true.
Priyasi, you
Number
would
driven
like
times.
to add something?
Yeah, I agree. There have been like mixed reactions to a lot of photographers are very active on Instagram, and big shot photographers are very active on Instagram, and Instagram has become a source of like income for them because of the affiliate marketing and a lot of things. But uh, you know I've met we've met a few photographers who said that their uh, their audience is not on Instagram. Their business, they don't do business on Instagram. What their target, or they're targeting business owners, they're targeting people who will pay them for their photographs, and that is not on Instagram. So there are both sides to it.
But it's a very number driven game. The Instagram has become a very when you see in the most popular side, it's like who gets the most like, they win or they get published. It's like that nowadays. So in
Right.
those kind of times, a young artist should do. I mean, when someone wants to be a photographer, come inside the industry, they see that this is an overwhelming thing. Okay, oh God, I have to collect numbers, I have to collect people, like I have to work to their taste. So it has become like that. So at that time, what artist should do?
I should delete the account for time being and
Huh?
concentrate on the art.
Really.
Okay.
So true. Delete the account and
True,
concentrate on
true,
your
true.
artwork.
So those
Yeah.
are just likes, you know, that not necessarily they are going to be your customer one day, right?
Mm.
End of the day, you need to sell your art. End of the day, the way you are, the kind of the skills you have developed, um, those the numbers which you see, that how many likes you have, that has become, you know, like people are just so much, you know, they become emotionally attached to that. And you know, those are just like, nobody takes a criticism there. I guess the learning for the new artist is starting with the criticism, right? And that criticism, when it comes, you cannot like criticize any new artist and they will start feeling bad, you know, if you give a suggestions to them. So they are with a different agenda. I'm not saying that they are wrong if they are on Instagram. They may not be that serious to become getting into a professionally into that, making their career, their living out of that. And it is fine, you be there. But if you want to make it a career, you want to be successful, you want to be, I guess you need to keep away from getting those likes, so much emotionally touched. Do use that to follow some of the greatest artists, follow some of the other photographers, watch their work, and get inspired, not copy, but get inspired from that work and use it in your art and improving. That's my take on that.
Well said, sir. Well said. So,
Yeah, I'd
in
like
this,
to add to that.
ma'am,
You
please.
know, sir said that people get criticism and on Instagram and social media apps, but I think uh, there is no criticism. There's no positive criticism, and there's no positive feedback that photographers get. All you get are like, you get thumbs up, you get your hearts, or if you look at the comments, people just say it's a good pic, great picture, but they don't really give feedback and constructive feedback that would help you as a photographer.
Mm.
So that criticism or that validity is not of any use to the photographer. And like Mukesh said, like not of any use to photographer who wants to make a career out of photography. Yeah.
And also it's very subjective, and we can do a social experiment. Me and Priyeshi, we put the same photo, and you see the number of likes. I might get one or two.
No.
No, I'll add to this, but nowadays there's something else is also happening. There's a lot of personal touch days people want, all the audience here. They want to know more about you rather than your work. What I have
Right.
noticed, most of those people who are getting likes, they're not even watching your work clearly, if you see.
Right.
Right, and there's nothing wrong. Like TikTok was based on that, right?
I said, then go to TikTok.
Right.
Go to
It was successful. It was successful, but in over one night we lost actually thousands of model in one night we lost, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
that is the same way that if Instagram dies, probably we will. I guess we have a couple of participants. We can unmute them. Let them also be a part of this. What do you say?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Yes,
let's
yes,
go then.
definitely,
So
definitely,
guys,
definitely. Guys,
please do participate and put your thoughts on Instagram and other things, and maybe we are like
if you guys have any questions to ask, please go
yeah,
ahead and ask.
yeah,
Yeah,
because of
we can
our different experience. Like I come from Orkut, and some of
I'm also from Orkut.
Same
okay,
here. Same here.
some of the people, those who are on Insta, they might not have their account in Facebook at all. So we had to transition. We had a transition from Orkut to Facebook and then to Instagram, and just like these are all rented homes. You just keep moving to another one, another. Keep
Well
it
said,
ready for the
actually.
next one. The life cycle is not more than 10 years. something else will be trending and you will be on that.
So guys, do you guys have any questions? Please.
All are unmuted, guys. Feel free to
Yeah, please.
talk.
Okay, by the time they come up, or you can just give us your questions here. You can leave the questions. We can see
In the
and
chat
answer.
box, yeah.
Yeah.
You can drop the question in the
Well, I
chat
would like
box.
to ask something.
Please, please.
So basically, my profession, I'm a cabin crew, flight attendant. So I get the privilege of traveling all around the world. So, and also I have, that's my one of the biggest hobby to take photos, photography. So I was thinking, what are the challenges if I want to change my career from being a cabin crew or flight attendant to become a professional photographer? What are the challenges will I face? There is a very big notion out there that photographers have to struggle for at least 2 to 3 years before they get settled. Like if they make their client base or like make their own living out of it. Is it true? Like how hard it is?
Yes. So first of all, you that these are the two different lifestyle. One being a cabin crew, and a lot of people like you are unique that you are you are a cabin crew, but most of the time IT professionals have these questions. Um, the switch, everyone wants to do the photography, but at the same time live a life of whatever they are, whatever the professional career they are in, which is not the journey is not going to be that easy, but it's going to be wonderful. Like evaluate yourself. You're taking pictures, you're traveling, then make use of that. Put your photos for selling. Just see that what are the different revenue streams you can have, and once you will have an answer on your own, right? That hey, this is the right time, and I know I'm going to be successful. I guess that will be the right time.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Anybody else has any question? Please do ask.
By the way, I remember and you can do both the things. So one of our mentors, Ajay Talwar,
Mhm.
he and his wife, they both used to work with Air India, and
Okay.
he is around 55 years old, and so Ajay Talwar and Neelam Talwar, they both were cabin crew. They met there. They got married. Um, now their passion was to getting into photography, and this gentleman Ajay Talwar, just look at his profile. If you Google him, you would know he started doing. They both of them started doing the astrophotography. Even they used to put while traveling. They were traveling international. So while traveling, they used to put their camera on a window, and they used to do a lot of experiment. Eventually, around 10 years back, Ajay Talwar left the job. Neelam Talwar still works, but wherever she goes, she also does the astrophotography. And you look at their work; they make they are pretty successful. It's their passion. So that was a good experiment they did. Like Ajay left, then he started. He found an opportunity that in India, it's difficult to get those binoculars, the bigger equipments which are used for astro. He started manufacturing those. So he came out from Air India, got into business of creating those, like manufacturing those equipments, as well as becoming astrophotographer. And he is consulting different government departments. He's consulting the colleges. He is doing the workshops, and he's taking pictures and enjoying it. Okay, and both he and his wife, and now their kid, the son is around 15 years old, so he's also an astrophotographer.
Wow. That will be an inspiration for me personally.
Yeah, look at their portfolio.
I
Just
will
if you
surely
don't
do
find
so.
it,
Yeah,
yeah, if you
thanks.
don't find it, just let me know. Ajay Talwar.
Yeah. And sorry, if I have one more question, will that be okay if I
Sure,
ask
sure,
another
sure.
question?
Please, please.
Yeah, so I have a couple of my friends who are also flight attendants and they are photographers. Like they travel for photography, not just for traveling as their job. They go on their leave and stuff for their photography and stuff. So I was like, when I did talk to them, and they told me that you cannot concentrate in one of the genre in photography. Like somebody's portrait photography, somebody is wedding photographer. So for me personally, I like taking portraits more. So they tell me that you have to be versatile everywhere. You need to expertise all the fields. Like if I am not good at something in some field, do I need to push myself to be versatile? Is versatility like is it a compulsory in the field of photography, or you can consider it on your field?
I the answer is yes and no. I can give you some examples from both the way. Like some of the photographers, they are doing wedding to make money, and their passion is traveling and doing the landscape. They are traveling and doing the landscape. Some of them, they decided they will do only the traveling and the landscape. Some of them, they are able to get assignments for the traveling from different companies. Same way, you need to see that if you become a portrait photographer, how you gonna make money, how the business gonna come, like how you gonna survive in the market, because the gears are expensive and everything. It's not that you
Very
cannot,
true.
it's not that you cannot, but end of the day you need to look your business side of the of photography, and you are the best judge to make decision.
Yeah, true. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
The questions. Do you guys have any other questions? If you guys have any questions, please drop it in the chat. I'll be happy to answer.
Yeah, all are unmuted though, right? Yeah, we can continue.
So, speaking
Just
about
a
the
sec. Just a sec. Is this getting recorded, right, Mukesh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it says recording.
sorry,
Yeah,
It
This
says
is
recording.
okay. Cool.
yeah, anything you say it can be used. And you have a right to remain silent. Priyashi, go ahead. Next, give an answer.
Well,
so
no,
workshops that you conduct, you have brought a lot of photographers to mentor your workshops. So, how was your experience dealing with those established photographers?
It's very challenging dealing with photographers like artists. They're very emotional a lot of time.
Mhm.
You call them, they say, okay, I'll call you back. They don't call you. Then again, after 6 months, they ask you what happened. Garimari, it's not related to you, by the way. Okay. Uh, so yeah, it is. It was. So it is challenging because bringing them on board, it's not that easy, and coming on to a common agenda, a common curriculum, that's also becomes a little difficult.
Right. So, now talking about education part of our industry, we have so many institutes in our right now. Like every city has an photography institute. They offer a lot of courses and everything. So my question is that do you think these institutes prepare the students for international market?
Forget about international. I guess it's very challenging to prepare them for the domestic market itself. I personally feel the institute I admire. One of them is Lights and Life Academy, Uti. Um, the another one I like, Pathshala, which is in the institute is based out of it is in Bangladesh. Most of the institutes in India, they teach more towards the technology side, more towards teaching about the camera, and less about uh, the art. So photography as an art. I guess that we need to have some better institutes, because we do, when we do hire photographers for our work, or when we do hire for our team, we have we have found really difficult time. And Priyashi would remember. So one girl we hired with a tattoo of a camera,
Oh,
and she was so passionate, and she had a tattoo, had a camera and all, like did not ask her basic questions while hiring.
mhm.
And after a few days, when I asked her that okay, we have some shoot or something, we have a requirement, we are looking for some wide angle, so which lens you have? Then her answer was that I have two lenses, एक बड़ा वाला एक छोटे वाला. So that's, that's a true story. So you can judge an institute, what kind of institutes we have. And Preeti was there, so she would agree to that.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So this coming to somebody who was so committed to photography that, you know, who had a tattoo of a camera on her hand, and then this kind of an answer, it just blows you away
It
sometimes.
does. It does. It does. It really does. Gives you a new perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it depends upon how much we take in the education all the time. You know, like the kind of education that they throws in.
Also, the right.
It's a very
The photography as a subject, as something to teach, is very new in India, and there's, you know, the way they teach, and you know, the whole syllabus is also, it's very, I would say, very camera centric, and not they, like, you know, the syllabus needs to be improved. That's, I think, what I would say about it. Also, how they teach you photography, and you know, they don't prepare you at all for, you know, for being a photographer outside of your, you know, your college, your, you know, for sure, you know, they send you for, you know, all these fests, you know, they cover fests. I see students covering fests, and you know, these, um, what all festivals and whatnot. But you know, that's that. They don't, like, you know, you don't learn anything beyond that.
Mm.
So yeah, the
That's absolutely
syllabus,
true.
the whole curriculum needs to improve a lot.
That is. So speaking about hiring processes, how do a photographer gets hired in the first place? For a magazine, when they have to choose someone for a shoot, how does that process work out?
actually, the things have changed. Like in past, magazines and other publishing house, they used to hire them for the shoots purpose. But now the market has changed. Like there are so much of content available already. You name a festival, you name an event, there are, you know, like a lot of people going there and submitting their photos. So the job profiles have changed. Now we hire people to source those profiles, shortlist those profiles, and create a story out of that. Or even sometime like about writing, about selling the workshop. So there are the most of our team members, they all are photographers. Like some of them being hobbies, some of them very seriously working on that. So we do hire the someone who is like having at least a basic understanding of photography, and then it depends which for which part we are taking them, whether it's for marketing, sales, or magazine. So it would depend on that. Anything related to content, how do we get it? Priyashi would be the better person. She is the one who takes care.
So yeah, content is mostly sourced from outside, and you know, I think the best way for any photographer to not just in to, you know, to have their work published, and not just in Cheese, but I think in any other magazine, the best way is to submit your work, and you know, get your work to be
Mhm.
seen by the right people. For that, you need, like, you need to do a bit of a research. You know, you need to know who the right person to send my work to. And when you send it, send your best work. It's not like just to do away with it. Don't send it just to do away with stuff. Send your best work and keep sending you know whatever latest projects that you're coming up with to a magazine. Keep pitching. That's how it works. As a professional photographer, that's see uh, curators in magazine teams can only do so much. They're going to search, they're going to look for content, but then uh, for for your work to reach them, isn't it better if you yourself submit it to them? And all it needs is a bit of a research as to who the right person is, and I think it's all available on the internet. All you need to do is look in LinkedIn, look, just Google it, and it will be there, I'm sure. So yeah, just pitch your work, and I think that's the best way to go about it. Of course, there'll be curators, that might stumble upon your work on social media or anywhere else, but I think the best way is to make them stumble on your work by sending it to them.
Yeah, definitely. So on your side of work, you must go through a lot of portfolios. Like, what do you look for in a photographer? Like, when you like one, because there are like millions of images, like you said, like on a daily basis, there are like billions of photographs coming in social medias, and you guys must be bombarded with a lot of images, publishing and everything. So how do you guys sort out images? Like, what do you guys look for?
We start from something which we get and we don't understand what is this or where this is, what event it is. Anytime we get a Banaras, Pushkar, one street photo, two sadhu, one dog, and those are very common images. Until we get on certain photos which are, like very unique, maybe because some ritual is happening, some event is happening, the location is very unique. That's the starting point. Then we get into the details, like where this photo was taken, and then we dig it out, that the whole story, that what happens and what is this festival all about, the location all about, and this event all about. So something very unique. Whatever you show it to somebody and they ask you that, hey, where it happened and what is this. So the moment you have this question, it means that's the photo you're looking for.
That's nice. Is
So can I
still
ask
photography?
something?
Yes, please, please.
Sorry. Please go ahead.
No
Please go
problem.
ahead.
No. No, please carry on. Please ask.
So I was just asking, is it like nowadays post-production and putting into presets and putting frames, like as you all were talking about the social media, Instagram, there are so many presets available now. There is a trend called Instagramish photos. So what do you have to say about this post-production thing? Like, I feel like for me personally, I'm not a photographer, it's my hobby. So I feel like if I take somebody's photo, it should be much more natural than post-production. That's the whole beauty of photography. So what do you have to say about that?
So you gave an answer yourself. So again, see that everyone, if there are 100 photographers taking the same place, their purpose may be different. Someone putting on Instagram just to, like gaining more attention, getting, they are getting more like likes or shares and comments on that. There are a lot of people, they would be taking it, documenting that moment for future. There are people, those who will be doing it for somebody and are putting it very natural. So again, everyone has a different agenda. So it's not that those who are making it like putting it a lot of filters, making it wrong, because they are doing it right, putting it for the social media. But if you want to be a serious photographer, I guess you don't have to, and you should not get into, just think about you, you do some work for your client and you send it with some, those filters. So what will happen? Uh,
Exactly. Yeah.
right.
True.
Now, second question was, there are so many, so these filters, then again, those presets are there. Presets, those saves the time, that Because when you are taking pictures using the DSLRs, definitely you have to post process those images.
Yeah.
And I assume that everyone is supposed to take a picture, like any image on a raw format. So definitely you have to do the post processing. So
Hmm.
there's a
Sure, sure,
thin
sure.
line between post processing and manipulation. So yes, post processing, you get to do it, you have to do it, and you should do it. You can do it using some presets which are available in the market, or you can do, like getting into some tool like Lightroom or Photoshop, and you can do it. Manipulation, until unless it's artistic or it's permitted, one should not do it.
Mm. True. Thank you.
Is there any other questions you want to ask, Aku?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
All right, all right. If you have any questions in between, please don't hesitate to ask.
Sure, sure, sure. Thanks.
So coming to the so nowadays still photography and moving photography hand in hand. And do you think that young photographers nowadays ready to balance that creative, like creating some unique work in both the fields? Like, are they able to create unique work in both fields, like still photography and moving photography?
Priyashi?
Yeah, I think absolutely. See, photography and documenting that came for a reason. You document things for a reason, and then uh, whichever medium works the best. So by like up till now, video was not not everybody's cup of tea. Not everybody could get a camera, take a video, and then equipment's too expensive and whatnot. But now it's accessible and it's so much better video.
Mhm.
I mean, to watch. And if you look at social media, if you look everywhere, YouTube, there is always a higher rate of engagement for videos than for photographs. I'm not saying that is not undermining the impact and the power of photographs, of still images. They have a separate, I think, fan base, I'd say. But yeah, it's about the medium, and I think we're moving towards a more moving image sort of this thing. Even the most I think recent is the popularity of TikTok. If you would, if
Yes.
you see,
Yeah.
in like people had moved from Instagram to TikTok, and there was a lot of content being made, and and it got popular for a reason. That people liked seeing moving images, and people, and Instagram has recently also added that feature, reels. So the engagement is what uh, makes what made Instagram, I think, to add this feature of videos and IGTV. People are more, I think, interested in videos. Not that still photography. I think still photography is also a very powerful tool, but it depends on what you're trying to document and how you're trying to document.
Yeah, agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
So now I think our generation is like moonwalking away to different time, and now people are more inclined or more fascinated about film photography. They are moving towards. They are more fascinated about it, and you conducted a workshop on analog photography. And so, how was your experience on that, and how was the response of the students? How were they when they came face to face with that classes and everything?
It was an experiment which we tried to do, and interestingly, we had participants, like a couple of them, they were around 70, one of them was 70-year-old and 60 years old. And most of the other participants were very young. We had a girl, even she was a teenager, and she was more interested in all those retros. So that's there is a group of photographers. They are into the retro stuff. They do love that, and a small number of people they will keep loving. They do film sharing. They somehow they have figure out, that how to get the setup done at their place for processing those the role and then developing those photos. So there are still, you can find each and every part which you can develop it. So there is a community still living. There's international community which they keep sharing those photos, and even some well-known photographers, they are doing some work on film roll. So it's a nice, like a nice feeling doing it in that. In fact, the Instax camera got popular like with the Fuji, which had, which was launched by them. That people take the Polaroid, they take a pictures, then they take a photo of that picture, and then they post it. So there is a, different charm in that.
That is true. So anyways, speaking about this, what do you think clients nowadays prefer? Like, there are people out there figuring out what to do and what to, like, how to create and everything. What do you think from a client's perspective they expect from a photographer?
In terms of what?
In terms of, creativity, or if you want to hire someone, like, for a shoot, what do they expect? Like, what should their
Um,
portfolio should have? If
see, there
someone
are,
is coming out of a college right now.
different categories of the clients. One of the biggest being of late, it's been the shoots for these e-commerce. That market is a huge market. The rates used to be, that right now, the rates are 10% what it used to be, like 3 years, 4 years back. That market, the client, the type of photographers, the type of clients are different. There are some traditional clients, they are those who are into luxury segment or those who do jewelry. They cannot get away with, like having a professional photographer with a good skills to get their pictures done. Like, taking the pictures of jewelry is equally difficult, or architecture is there. So there's not much change in that. But again, some of the photographers, they try, some of the clients, they end up, because there is a good competition among photographers, so they end up hiring someone with the lesser, those who are charging them very less and lesser experience.
Guys, if you guys have any questions that you want to ask, please do ask. If you want to drop a question in the chat box, please do. If you guys have any
Sure, sure.
questions.
Like, just feel free to contact on Instagram, and we can take it up offline. Any question you might have related to anything related to business side of the photography, anything related to content side, Priyashi is there to answer that, and anything related to which camera to buy, aperture and shutter speed, probably Garima ji will be there for that.
Finally, my network is working.
Good. That's what, you move to some bigger city actually. There's some IT hub city or something. So there's a place, Ghaziabad near Delhi, where I live. So I have an optic fiber line.
Yeah.
Which city you are from?
Definitely. No, but thank you, Mukesh. This was needed, much needed. I don't know why so many people didn't join. I think it was Saturday night here, so they must be going to some shop to entertain themselves in the night.
I have one last question though. I have one last question.
Okay. Continue.
No. One last question. What's the future for Chess Magazine in India?
It's bright. The print would not be having that much. And I guess a lot of changes have happened because of the lockdown. So, but we will continue doing it because we are known as a magazine, but our business, our revenue streams are different. We don't make money from magazine. We make money from other revenue streams, like from workshops, from tours, from the branding solutions. So this is really, there's no much impact on this, the magazine part, and we will continue printing it, we'll continue making it, and that's it.
Thank you so much. This was an amazing conversation. Looking forward to this for a very long time, and thank you very much.
Priyashi, anything from your closing remarks?
Thank you. Oh, thank you. I think for having me. It was a good experience.
Garima ma'am.
Yeah, that's it.
Garima. Yeah, no. See, the idea was, Mukesh, what was the idea? Like, a lot of students, all this generation should know exactly what is happening through people like you who are already there in the market, working in photography industry.
All right.
So we just wanted all these people to know the real picture. Okay.
Correct. So, yeah, so that is very important, because a lot of people, they make a bad decision and then they realize that, then they realize what they need to do. Maybe they end up
Exactly.
wasting their 1 year, 2 years of their career. Because if you end up going to institute, they will sell you that you do this course and you will become, very successful photographer. And either they end up not getting any work, because, there is as any form of art in India, or for anywhere for that matter, you get to like keep your financial outside, like you cannot think of making a lot of money what you can make it in other careers. So
Right.
you need to think in that way, keep your expectations, enjoy. It's an amazing to do the photography, enjoy it. I think you need to keep your expectations to the right level.
Thank you so much. This was amazing.
Yeah, we were.
Thank you.
We were looking forward to have couple of.
Thank
We would have done couple
I
of
know.
workshops, Garima, right?
Huh? Kya?
We would have done couple of workshops together, right?
Arey, lockdown, sir.
Lockdown.
Definitely in future, actually we should have all these speakers like you people coming actually in open podium where we have workshops and the speakers together.
Sure.
Like we can do something like this sort of in future.
So, by the way, Priyashi did a couple of good, like couple of good stories. She
Oh,
did,
nice.
like on Kashmir and Delhi,
Wow.
couple of stories. So, Priyashi, go
Where
ahead.
can we find that?
It's still under review, I think. So as soon as I'll let you know.
Good photographers,
please
they
do.
don't put on Instagram, actually,
That is true actually. Initially
That is
I was
actually
not
true, yeah.
putting anything and people were like pushing me, "Arey, put some images now, we want to see." And because I teach, so automatically students were asking also, "Ma'am, you are not shooting." So for that particular reason I started posting the images. But my images were none of them are commercial images. All of them are my travel images.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay then.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mukesh. Thank you, Priyashi.
Yeah, we will.
Let's
Thank you so
meet
much.
soon. Maybe post lockdown. Let's all meet soon.
Sure. We
You guys, please be
Yes,
safe.
yes,
we
sure.
can connect offline and then we'll take it from there.
Thank you.